introduce, that's on the run, isn't it? Introduce Sam to talk. Looking at my wife, because she's the one that pulls the strings. So, yeah, come up, Sam.
Good morning. So just bear with me, I've written a little bit of notes here. Good morning everyone. Just congratulations to everyone who did the races today, whether you finished or not. It's pretty impressive that you go out there in tough conditions and deal with whatever happens to you out there. As long as you did your best and worked hard out there. Hopefully you all saw today. If you saw, that means you pushed yourself. It certainly was testing conditions and testing yourself. Just a little introduction about myself. I'm Sam Manson, 23 years old, and I'm a local boy. Born in Hawke's Bay, grew up in Wairoa, which is just a small town an hour and a half north of here, 2 hours north of here. Grew up on a farm there, and then went to boarding school with Navy boys through my high school years, before then joining the Air Force. But so I regularly train and compete in motorsport and adventure racing, both nationally and internationally, up against racing with the world's elite guys, and trying my best to be quite competitive with them and trying to beat them, which I'm getting better at doing as time goes by. So I've been to places overseas, such as Aussie in Australia, Aussie and China, quite a lot of parts of China. I expect to be part of China now, and I'll be going again later this year. In Premier New Zealand events such as the States Coast to Coast, I've done it 3 times now, which doubles as the Motorsport World Champs, and other events, Lakes Lighthouse, that was once dubbed as one of the hardest events in the world. There was a local race up in Wairoa, that no longer exists, and the God's Own Expedition race in the South Island. That's New Zealand's only expedition race that's multi-day. Still like we did yesterday, but non-stop for about 5 to 10 days. Kind of all sleep. So as I said, I'm a local boy, grew up in Wairoa with Navy boys. Bit of a shame to not see Navy boys racing today. Maybe should have gone with Taradale. But nah, Navy boys all the way. So in high school I didn't actually do much sport. Like some of you guys in here, I didn't do my first adventure race until I was 21, and that was a basic 6-hour race. So you're all quite a few steps ahead of me if you want to further yourself in the sport, get a lot more experience. In high school I did with a little bit of hockey, wasn't very good at it, didn't know the rules, still don't. And I like running, I like staying fit, so I did like a run every couple of days. And then I tried a lot with kayaking when I was 15 and got really into that, and by the time I was 17 I was doing grade 4. But that's the basics of the sports I did, so just so you know, I didn't have a huge background in endurance racing like I do now. I started late. So after finishing 7th form, I joined the Air Force, and at the same time was when I started thinking seriously about motorsport racing. It was just an idea and having a crack at it, and but not just doing it, like I was pursuing the passion of being the best at it. I didn't just want to do it, I wanted to win. So I started training quite seriously, as I could with the equipment I had, but all I had was running shoes and a whitewater kayak. So that was limiting for a while. It was about 2011, so a year and a half after I joined the Air Force, that I bought a second-hand road bike, and then from then I was able to actually train properly. Well, what I thought was properly, because I wrote my own programs. Just got out every day. And so I had a goal that I set myself, and that was to win coast to coast, which is quite an ambitious scenario I just started. And but I was convinced I could win it within a year if I trained hard enough. And I was sure as hell going to stick to it, and my new ambition to be the best. That same year, 2011, I did my first motorsport race, the Crimea Classic, a 2-day event, which is pretty brutal. And just by hurting myself to absolute new levels, well, not hurting, it's a nice word to use, just a lot of pain going. I managed to get 4th place overall, which was pretty cool considering my first ever race. And she really gave me some good ideas, and then a couple of months later I did Lake Lighthouse, which is twice as brutal. But I loved it. It was hard and it was rewarding, and got me into it. And so that was 2011. I then did Coast to Coast. Not 2012 like you'd think. I waited another year, so I didn't think I was ready to win it. But I did it in 2013. That was my first go at Coast to Coast, the longest day. I didn't want to do the 2-day, because it's not 1 day. So I did 1 day, and I was dead set on winning that. I ended up 9th, which is obviously in the top 10, and what a lot of guys are aiming for. And as great as 9th was, I wasn't happy with it, and spent another year going at it and racing everywhere. And then I went back in 2014, and I got 4th. Once again disappointed. Changing my training, you learn from these experiences. You don't sit and do the same training every year. I learned from it and tried new things. Learning about how rest is important as well as training. Then this year, I actually took a bit of time off work. Took 3 months off work, trained full time. I was like, this is it, I've got to win this race. I'm taking too long. I didn't quite get my goal of the first year. And no, I actually had a coach for the first time as well. So I had someone, a professional coach, who was going to make sure that I won it. But I had a bit of a hiccup on the day. And also I don't think everything went as well as I thought anyway. But I ended up 5th, which was really disappointing, but I still think I raced all right. Yeah, that year, well this year, it was only a month and a half ago, 2 months ago now, so it was quite recent. So I spent all summer training down the South Island on the course, because that was one of the points that I knew I needed to work on. Memorising the mountain run perfectly, knowing the river off by heart. It was 70 k's of pedaling down Braden River where the race can go any direction into dead ends or very shallow dips. And then, so I trained full time for that. On the race day, everything was perfect. I was feeling good. I was fast, fitter than ever, as I always say. Before the Coast to Coast, I say I'm the fittest I've ever been, which is always a good sign. And but I'd done a race about a month before that, a practice race before Coast to Coast, and it's the same as Coast to Coast in terms of the stages. So you had a short run off the beach, and then a bike ride, and the mountain run. It was all quite a bit shorter. So we had to run off the beach in this practice race, and I was struggling to keep up with the guys who I normally wouldn't have any trouble with. And then we got on the first ride on the bike ride, and I couldn't hang on. I ended up getting dropped off the bunch and having to ride by myself, which was really embarrassing, considering I was supposed to be one of the contenders to win. And so by race day on Coast to Coast, my confidence wasn't there. I was really worried to get dropped off the bunch and end up way at the back. But luckily, that was just for them. Got on the first bunch ride of this year's Coast to Coast. I was able to work hard. Extremely strong headwind, which made things a lot slower. The previous year, we broke the record for the first ride. This year, we were 10 minutes slower, which was just how strong the headwind was. And then the mountain run. So got on the mountain run, and the run is my strength. It was me, Sam Clark, and Braden Curry who were up in front, leading the way from there, and they were both pretty well renowned for their ability to run fast also. But it's a hard race because you can never get it perfect. even if you're doing training, it just doesn't seem to work out. And the first river crossing was so cold, the legs just lock up. And even though in training they didn't, they do on race day. So I did a peanut butter sandwich and I choked on that, and I ended up back at about 5th place within half an hour. But I warmed up, and then by the time we got to go past, I was back in 3rd place and gaining back on time behind the two leader guys. Still doing my best to try and win. Got off the mountain run, absolutely exhausted. I was ready to stop there. Got the splits for how far away the 2 leaders were. Jumped on my bike to start biking the middle bike section down to the river, which is about 15 kilometres, and 100 metres to the right my chain snapped. Just like that. And the bike was brand new. Well, it was only about 2 weeks old. Which is, I don't advise, don't buy a bike before the race. Find that well beforehand. Yeah, the chain snapped, which is a complete shock. I thought immediately that my chain had just fallen off, and I went to go put it back on, but no, it just snapped right off. And I turned around and yelled at everyone I could see to get me a new bloody bike. What the hell was going on? The conditions were pretty cold, so by something moving, and I wasn't wearing much clothes because I don't normally wear much. This was bad. And I got cold pretty quick, and eventually found a new bike. But the bike was a woman's bike, and it was the wrong size, and the pedals were, you know, how you use cleats on your road bike. These cleats were actually about half the size of mine. And so I ended up putting my shoe on top of their pedals, which didn't clip in at all, and it was like a balancing act. Something, you know. And I had to do 15k, which is about half an hour usually, and I think it took me about 50 minutes. And I didn't actually manage to pass a couple of guys. I couldn't believe it. But they passed me back. After I ran out of energy, because I was thinking at a strange angle and using new muscles I wasn't used to. And I also forgot my food and my water because it was on my other bike. By the time I got to the start of the kayak, I was in a pretty miserable mental state. I was like some of you when you were cold and didn't want to carry on with the pedal or wherever you were out there. You just wanted to pull the pin. It's just like that. And I was coming up with ideas of how I was going to tell everyone, because I had so much support from work and all my friends on, and you get all the social media attention, especially with, I was advertised through the paper and the news as being the major contender to the winner, to beat it, and I just needed to come up with an excuse as to why I pulled out. I lost my vision or something, or my boat broke, or just but I just, while I was trying to come up with the story, I just kept on moving at the same time instead of stopping, and ended up in the boat, paddling along. The paddle wasn't going well, didn't have any energy, it was freezing cold. And then about half an hour to the pedal, an hour into the pedal, I saw someone. I was catching 5th place, I think it was. And yeah, there's someone. I can catch them. And suddenly you had a burst of energy just like that. You think from 1 second ago you couldn't have gone any harder, and then all of a sudden you see someone and everything just changes, which is really odd, because I was convinced I couldn't have gone any faster. But all of a sudden I was, just because I'd seen someone. And I caught them within 10 minutes. It was my good friend Hamish Fleming from the club. And unfortunately he got really cold. And he was in good form, but just he got him cold, and so I gave him a few words of support and told him to hurry up. And, but flew past him at the same time. I wasn't going to stay with him. Yeah, and then sort of powering away. But then the bum got sore, as I do, because you're in the boat for so bloody long. It's a long paddle. It's 4.5 to 5 hours, 70 kilometres. And if you're rotating in the boat, you're constantly rubbing, and it's just it can be quite painful, because you've got to push through that pain and just focus on your technique rather than the pain, but it can be overwhelming. So that slowed me down a little bit, and then all of a sudden, with about 10 k's to go on the pedal, Nathan Favre, he's world beach racing champ. He's an older guy. I think he's mid-40s. He's 43. He did coast to coast like 15 years beforehand with his first one, and we all knew he was coming, but we never expected him to actually in the air up the front. And he said, "G'day" to me, and there he goes. Yeah, alright. And pretty pissed off that he's flying past at 10 times my speed. And he goes, "Oh, don't worry, I just want to beat Bushy," which was his mate from Nelson that he trained with, who was the next guy back. Also a very good peddler. And he said, "Yeah, don't worry, you'll catch me on the bike." "Yeah, I will." But I tried to keep up with him because I wasn't just going to let him go. I chased after him, but he was just so fast. I kept trying, and then about 5 k's ago, Bushy, the guy that Nathan was talking about, caught me as well. Fuck this. I stayed with him, and I wasn't going to let him go. We chatted for a bit, and then I paddled with him. And then we came into the end of the paddle together. But this is it. There was Braden Curry in front of me, Sam Clark, Trevor Royce, also a very good athlete from Nelson, then Nathan, and then Bushy, who was all came together. So that meant I was in 6th place at that point in time, if you count Bushy just in front of me by 100 metres. So we ran out the bank, and all we had to go was 70k road bike to New Brighton, to the beach, to finish the race. But here we go. I'm going to pass Bushy straight away, because I'm a good cyclist now. I've been training so hard, and then catch Nathan, and then if I can, I'll keep Trevor, and I'll come third. That's the best I can do today. It took me half an hour to get past Bushy. I was pretty smoked. I got past him, and I gave the final ride 110%, which you shouldn't do because then I blew up. You stick to your 100%, you stick to what you're trained to. So I blew up about 20 k's to go, and I was pretty miserable, but I still wasn't quite happy, so I pushed harder, and it was a very hard mental state to be in when you've been going for that long. And I ended up finishing in 5th place, just behind Nathan. So obviously pretty distraught with that result, and a little bit set back at the moment as to what to do with the training wise, but I'll be back to coast to coast again, just not sure when. So that's my story of this year's Coast to Coast, which I told Dave I'd tell you about, because I thought it was a pretty good story. It just teaches you a few lessons about persisting when things go wrong, and even though all you yesterday should be understand the mental state you'd be in when you don't want to go any further because you're cold and you're miserable, and it doesn't seem appealing that now you've got to go trek up Kiripaponga, which is 1,000 metres high, an hour climb, and the rest of it. But just doing it anyway, because you know at the end you'd be glad you did it. You'd have no regrets. That's the last thing you want, is regrets. Just going back to wearing uniform today because I work with the Royal New Zealand Air Force. I've been with them 5 years since I left high school, Navy boys. It's been my career. I've been a qualified aircraft technician for 2 years now, but I've also been training the whole time for that, which means I fixed and serviced the planes at the Air Force. The values of the Air Force is pretty similar to that of adventure racing. You learn about teamwork and leadership and working together, which has probably helped me a lot with my racing. It's taught you how to work together, which is really important. As from yesterday, you would have learned yourselves you can't get through the event if you don't work together, or you could, but you wouldn't enjoy it nearly as much. It was really cool to see most of you smiling and laughing together, even if you weren't happy. I think I've caught a few teams on the river, and while you were miserable, I could definitely get at least one smile out of you if I persisted and keep talking to you. So it correlates really closely with adventure racing, the Air Force values, which is really good. The New Zealand Defence Force in general is really keen on sport. They encourage you to get out, sometimes even during work hours, just to go out for a short 45 minutes each day and go to the gym or go for a run or go do your club sport, because they realise the importance of sport. because it promotes the use of teamwork and unit morale, so that your unit works really well if you're all healthy and have been spending more time together. But also it develops your personal qualities and character a little bit, as you would have learned yesterday. You know, sport, events racing, you're testing yourself and you learn more. It builds character, definitely. Pushing yourself up steep hills or down rapids that you normally wouldn't do in your own time. And your comradeship and understanding among other personnel or other friends, learning how to work together and make it happen. So those are the roles of sport in Royal New Zealand Air Force, but you know, they stick into most circumstances. Yeah, it's no lie that I wouldn't be racing and training today as I am. You know, the amount I've got to do about 14 to 30 hours a week of training to race at my level, and I couldn't do it without a good boss, good career. It doesn't mean necessarily that I train all during work hours instead of doing work, because I work full time. I do all my training in my spare time, but having the support from the boss means I can get away a little bit earlier sometimes, or they have an understanding of why I might be a little bit tired today because I was out late last night for a 4-hour bike ride, or whatever I've done recently, overseas racing. And they do support. If you're representing New Zealand, then they'll help me out with leave off work. Or as I've done the last few years in China, they've covered some of my leave just to race a few weeks over in China, which is really good. It's a good opportunity. If you get good at adventure racing, there's plenty of opportunities out there to do overseas fun stuff and see the world in a way you wouldn't see as a normal tourist. Yeah, so that's support I get from the Air Force. The aim of this speech was pretty much to give you an understanding of my life as an athlete. You know, it's not complicated. You could all do it if you wanted to. You don't have to take the same path as me. But it's as simple as getting out there and persisting to your goal of training hard if you want to. You just got to make the choice. Do you want to do this just for fun, or do you want to do this? Well, it is fun. It's always fun, as long as you can see the fun side of it. You should make a choice to train if you wish. Just a lot more fun if you fit. You can do anything you want as long as you want it enough. And yeah, I just wanted to give you an example of how my life went, and that it's not that hard to do if you want to do it. Like what I said before, running in high school, even though I ran in high school, I was midfield and cross country, and I'd be given 100% to the run. So it's just that I persisted and trained hard and well and enjoyed it along the way and learned lots. If you feel it's a full story, I've got a blog on the internet. Just spell it out, just Google my name, it should come up. It's pretty popular now. I think it's like third from the top if you type in my name. If you've got any questions, you can talk to me afterwards. I'm getting you right now. I suppose I don't expect you to do. But yeah, please, I'll stay around for a while afterwards. You can talk to me.
Yeah, it's, I pretty much agree with everything that he said, except, look, I was never going to win. Thanks, Sam. That was great, and it's been really interesting watching your career. The first time I came across Sam was actually at the Blacktown Lighthouse, and there was all this buzz because it was a local race, and all of a sudden there's this local kid, and I heard that he was still at school, but he wasn't. And yeah, it's been fantastic watching you. And it's also the circle of friends. This is a community, and everyone knows everyone else. and I was asked who I thought was going to win the Coast to Coast, and because I don't live down the South Island, sorry, Garangos, I'm like, well, it's going to have to be a North Islander, so it's going to be Sam. So it was I was hedging my bets. It was either Sam Clark or Sam Manson. So if I was talking to the local paper, it was definitely me. And he will win. I know you will win. And I think Richard Usher took 4 or 5 years to get to the point, and then once he won, and he just kept on winning. And that's the other thing about experience, is you're always building on it. When you go to an experience and it's new, you make the mistakes, the next time you make less mistakes, and you've got that base. So that's always really important with everything in life, really. Just remember that you're building experience that is your base that you can stand on. So thanks so much for your story. That's great. Thanks.